if you have good boundaries, it means you can walk into a situation and just have total confidence that either everyone involved will behave well, or at least you will behave well no matter what. So a simple example would be, if you have internal boundaries, would be what I put into my mouth, right? I have a goal of what I want my physique to be, what kind of nutrition I want to enter my body, what kind of nutrition I don't want to enter my body, those kinds of things. If I go to a family party or a church party or something, and there is just like food out there, I am responsible for my boundary of what does and what doesn't come into my body. I cannot be mad at people for offering or bringing things that are contrary to my boundaries, right? Yep. I can decide whether or not to participate in those kinds of things or not. But if I have good, strong boundaries, then I know I can walk into any church party and nothing's going in my mouth that I don't want to go in there, right? Yep. Or like if there are people who have poor behavior, maybe they like to make jabbing comments, maybe they're just straight up insulting. It's a family reunion, right? Like, let's just use that scenario. You have that uncle, the stereotypical uncle who just doesn't know, or maybe he likes to get he likes to get a rise out of people. You just know that you are responsible for you. He's responsible for him. No matter what he says, you're not going to say anything that's going to end up on like the family Facebook for years and years and years of like, look at what Ruth did. You just know that you're going to behave well to either leave the situation or just not instigate. Those are good boundaries. Okay. Signs of poor boundaries would be rebellion. If there is a heightened sense of rebellion, like I have to protest or things like that, then that's signs that there are poor boundaries. Not that rebelling is bad. I think rebelling can be good because it's this fight of who owns the property. So toddlers have a state of rebellion and teenagers have a state of rebellion because everybody's trying to figure out what do they own. And that's the only way you figure out what you own is by like playing in the property. Sexual promiscuity is often, well, it is. It's trying to figure out what you own. Like, what do you really have a decision in? So rebellion is a sign that that healthy boundaries are not present. Counterdependence is also a thing. It's kind of like rebellion, but rebellion is just like, I'm going to do everything bad in a way. And counterdependence is whoever I'm trying to have the boundary with, whatever they say, I'm going to do the opposite, whether or not it's good for me. Like if they hadn't said anything, I might have made the decision that was good for me. But because they got involved, now just out of spite, I'm going to do the opposite. That's counterdependence. If there's resentment, ladies, listen up. If there is resentment, that is a sign, that is probably one of the greatest signs, the most common signs that there are unhealthy boundaries. If you are concerned about how somebody else's behavior, your child, your husband, your friend, the church, the government, like whatever it is, if you're afraid of their behavior reflecting poorly on you, that could be a sign of poor boundaries. If there's yelling and anger, that's a sign that there's poor boundaries.